Can humans ever leave the Milky Way galaxy? We have all heard the term Milky Way at least once in our lifetime. It is the name of the galaxy we live in. Our solar system with the sun at its center resides in the Milky Way. But we are not alone. There are other stars and planets in this galaxy. And the Milky Way is just one among many galaxies present in the universe. So if we can discover other galaxies, does that mean we can travel between them? Can humans ever leave the Milky Way? What are wormholes? Will they help us in traveling between the galaxies? Let's find out. The starting of video now. As mentioned earlier, the Milky Way is the galaxy that contains the solar system. The Milky Way consists of billions of stars, dust, gas, and dark matter. All these components are held together by gravity. The shape of the galaxy resembles a flat disk with spiral arms, and it is about 100,000 light-years across. We call it a galaxy because it comprises a huge collection of stars, gas, dust, and other materials bound together by gravity. In fact, there are trillions of galaxies in the observable universe. Each galaxy has its own collection of stars, planets, and other celestial objects. Galaxies are so large that the distances between their components cannot be measured in kilometers or even light-years. Astronomers use a unit called a parsec to measure the distances within the galaxies. 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light-years. In order to leave the galaxy, we need to understand the concept of space and time. To determine how far an object is from Earth, astronomers measure the distance between the object and Earth in terms of light-years. 1 light-year is the distance that light travels in 1 year. Light travels at a speed of 186,000 miles per second, or 300,000 kilometers per second. Therefore, 1 light-year is equivalent to 5.88 trillion miles, or 9.46 trillion kilometers. The Milky Way is estimated to contain anywhere from 100 billion to 400 billion stars. This means that the diameter of the galaxy is more than 100,000 light-years. The nearest galaxy to the Milky Way is the Andromeda galaxy. It is located 2.5 million light-years away from us. At first, this distance might not seem too great. After all, it is only a small fraction of the total distance between galaxies. Anything that has mass will always have some inertia. To overcome this inertia, an object must be accelerated. Acceleration requires force, and the amount of force required to accelerate an object is always inversely proportional to its mass. In other words, the more massive an object is, the more force is required to accelerate it. Since light has no mass, it does not experience any resistance as it travels through space. This allows light to travel at a constant speed of 186,000 miles per second, or 300,000 kilometers per second. However, this is not true for spacecraft. Spacecraft have mass, and therefore they cannot travel at the speed of light. Even if we could somehow get around this limitation, the distances between galaxies are so great that traveling to another galaxy would take thousands or even millions of years. For example, the nearest galaxy to the Milky Way is Andromeda, which is located 2.5 million light-years away. It would take a spacecraft traveling at the speed of light over 2.5 million years to reach Andromeda. Although leaving the Milky Way is currently impossible, we can still explore other galaxies by sending unmanned spacecraft on deep space missions. For example, NASA's Voyager 1 spacecraft was launched in 1977 and is currently more than 14 billion miles or 22.5 billion kilometers from Earth. Voyager 1 is now in interstellar space and is traveling at a speed of over 38,000 miles per hour or 61,000 kilometers per hour. Although Voyager 1 is still inside the Milky Way, it is the only spacecraft to have ever entered interstellar space. As Voyager 1 continues to travel, it will eventually leave the galaxy. Now coming back to the topic, wormholes. A wormhole is a hypothetical type of a shortcut in space-time that allows for travel between two distant points by taking a route that is shorter than the usual path through space. Wormholes are predicted by Einstein's theory of general relativity, but they have never been observed. According to general relativity, a wormhole is a solution to the equations that describe the behavior of gravity in space. However, whether or not wormholes actually exist is unknown. Some physicists believe that wormholes may be possible, while others dismiss them as merely a mathematical curiosity. Even if wormholes do exist, it is unclear whether they could be used for travel. A wormhole is essentially a tunnel that connects two points in space-time. If one end of the tunnel is in the Milky Way and the other end is in Andromeda, then traveling through the wormhole would allow us to reach Andromeda much faster than traveling through space. However, it is unclear whether such a wormhole would be stable enough to support the weight of a spacecraft. Moreover, it is unclear whether a wormhole could be opened or closed, or if it naturally occurs. Some scientists believe that wormholes could potentially be created by manipulating the fabric of space-time itself. This could be achieved by creating a region of negative energy density, which could then be used to warp space-time and create a wormhole. However, this is highly speculative, and there is no evidence that it is possible. Other scientists believe that wormholes may be created by natural phenomena, such as the collapse of a massive star. When a massive star collapses, it creates a black hole. It is possible that the intense gravity near the event horizon of a black hole could cause space-time to warp and create a wormhole. Again, this is highly speculative, and there is no evidence that it has ever happened. So the answer to the question, can humans ever leave the Milky Way galaxy, is currently no. It is theoretically possible to leave the Milky Way, but the distances between galaxies are so great that doing so would take thousands or even millions of years. Also, we currently do not have the technology to travel at such speeds. Moreover, wormholes, which are hypothetical types of shortcuts in space-time that allow for travel between two distant points, have never been observed. Even if wormholes do exist, it is unclear whether they could be used for travel. In conclusion, although it is theoretically possible to leave the Milky Way, we are currently limited by the laws of physics and the limitations of our technology. Who knows what the future holds? Perhaps one day we will develop new technologies that will allow us to explore other galaxies. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's move towards the ending of the video. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, press the like button and comment below with your feedback. Also, subscribe to our channel to be notified of new videos. You can also visit our website to learn more about space and technology. Your support motivates us to create more quality videos. Thanks for watching. Now the time for the outro is over. Let's get back to the video. And did you know that there are also other universes besides our universe? Click on this video to know more.